He put once he gets you on his shoulder or on his side.
Williamson, too easy.
Second chance points. Make it time. Look out!
Nobody ever questions Zion's ability.
No.
Now, and that's ballooned even more now in the starting role of Ingram as Zion Williamson.
Look out!
I'm not surprised that he's a star. I'm surprised how he's doing it. He's just bullying grown men.
So lead back to 5. Zion attacking. Zion bumps it.
Zion Williamson is absolutely humiliating the NBA right now. He's making grown men look like kids at your local YMCA, and I've never seen anything like it since, to be honest, Shaquille O'Neal. And the absolute truth of the matter is, no single man, not even some of the most elite and ferocious defenders in the league, could stop him. He knows it, they know it, we all do. Well, you're in luck, because recently I've studied the beast they call Zion, and today I'll be giving you an in-depth look at just how Zion Williamson is humiliating the NBA. If a regular man saw him in real life, he'd fear for his life, but in the NBA, standing at just 6'6", Zion doesn't really scare anyone when it comes to his vertical stature. I mean, according to NBA data, he's actually just about average in the league when it comes to this measurement, but when it comes to weight, that's a whole nother story. You see, the average NBA player is, give or take, about 220 pounds. But to get a clearer grasp of this picture, let me break this down for you a little bit. Here's a list of weights per position in the NBA last season. Point guards are approximately 192 pounds. Shooting guards are at about 200. Small forwards come in at 213, with power forwards following them at 227. Then finally, we have centers at 246. Well, what if I told you that Zion Williamson is 284 pounds? Yeah, I ain't kidding at all. He's currently the 4th heaviest player in the league, and check this out. He's even heavier than Joel Embiid, for Pete's sake. He's actually the same weight as Nikola Jokic, who's a 7-foot tank. And the crazy thing is, Zion is not fat. This dude is like 284 pounds of almost pure muscle. He's substantially heavier and stronger than even most centers, and when you compare him with point guards, it's just laughable. It really is the difference between a cat and a mouse, and it's no wonder why he could do things like this. Here's Zion with the ball in transition, and here's Jeremy Sohan, aka Dennis Rodman 2.0, trying to guard him. Sohan is a 6'8", 230-pound power forward, and he actually does a good job keeping in step with Zion as he's running down the floor. But when he tried to contest the shot at the very end, he knew he made a mistake. It's as clear as day and night that this is a man versus a boy. Sohan stood no chance against Williamson as he hits the deck hard, while Zion, on the other hand, lays it in with zero resistance. I'm pretty sure he is going to guard him just a little differently the next time they meet. And this isn't a knock on Sohan or anything, though, because the truth is, I don't think there's anyone in the league who could guard Zion one-on-one. I really don't. I mean, if I was on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and the question was, who could guard Zion? A. Ben Simmons, B. Giannis Antetokounmpo, or C. Marcus Smart, I'd choose D. None of the above. And I would probably be right. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Here's Zion with the ball on the perimeter. He's being guarded by Drew Holiday, who was selected to the NBA's All-Defensive Team 4 times. And that's not the end of it either. The secondary defender is former Defensive Player of the Year, Giannis, who's standing here. Look at how easy Zion makes this look. 2 dribbles going right, then once he makes the contact and bounces Holiday away, he spins, then leaps into the air, and lays it in over the outstretched arms of the Greek freak. Oh my goodness, guys. Give me my $1 million. There's literally no way to guard this man alone. He's too strong, too fast, and too explosive. Just to give you some perspective on this, here's what Steph Curry had to say of him.
there's not really a way to take everything away from him because it's such a unique, physical guy that does things nobody else can really do physically. And it seems like he's got an endless motor for most of the game.
And Steph's absolutely 100% correct. I mean, here's another look. Zion is again on the perimeter. He's being guarded by a 6'7" small forward, Torrey Craig, who won the Defensive Player of the Year award a few years back in the NBL, Australia's Premier League. Zion's probably aware of it, but he doesn't care. And Craig knows it. We all do. So once Zion sizes him up, he takes one power dribble going forward, bumps Craig away like a baby, then explodes and lays it up over the outstretched arms of a 7-foot center, DeAndre Ayton. Yikes, guys. Anyways, I want to take a look at just one more here before moving on. This is a prime example of how Zion is humiliating the NBA at the moment. Here he is on the perimeter, being defended by Mikal Bridges, a finalist for the Defensive Player of the Year award in 2022. I mean, look, he actually came in second place with 202 points, just right behind Marcus Smart. So, last season, according to the consensus, he was the second best defender in the league. But look at how Zion makes him look like freshly cooked barbecue chicken. I mean, oh my goodness, guys. Oh my goodness. It literally looks like just a drill for the Pelican star. And the crazy thing is, Zion is only 22 years old. I know a lot of y'all complain that I say the word sheesh too much, but what other word can I use in a situation like this, for Pete's sake? Anyways, and with that being said, let's hear from Steven Adams, the quote-unquote strongest man in the NBA, on his experiences with trying to defend Zion.
One, it was just like ridiculous how fast he moves for that size. That was one thing. But then it was just the ability of, once he gets to his spot, his adjustment in the air after any sort of contact or whatever, and the touch on top of it is like just ridiculous.
Zion, Zion, Zion. He's just a few years removed from high school, but he's making full-grown men look like they don't belong. Moving on here. You probably already guessed it, but I just want to point out this next fact. For the season, Williamson is averaging 25 points per game, but look, practically all of his shots are coming in the paint at the rim. He truly is feasting on NBA players like how kids do with candy. I mean, looking at the numbers, he's really not taking any outside shots, because in his mind, he knows that whether it's an average NBA defender or the best of the best, that none of them, I mean none, could really stand against him when he decides to take the ball to the rim. They're calling him the Giannis of the West, and for good reasons. I mean, the obvious reason is because you really can't guard him in one-on-one situations. Otherwise, you'll get embarrassed like Bismack Biyombo here. And to be honest, you must build a wall around him if you want to have any hope of containing him. But in saying that, if you decide to try and wall him off, you'd leave the shooters wide open, and Zion knows how to deliver on-point passes. Then, instead of giving up 2 points, you now give up 3. I'm really out of words on what to say about this dude. He's absolutely one of a kind. At such a young age, he's humiliating the NBA, and most importantly, this dude is humiliating the Phoenix Suns. I mean, to be honest, the Phoenix Suns did humiliate themselves with the way they reacted to that late dunk by Zion with a second left on the clock. They made all that fuss for no reason. I mean, I loved it, the fans loved it, and even Shaq himself enjoyed it.
I like what he did the other day, 0.1 second. I don't care, I'm gonna throw it down for the fans.
Then the hilarious thing, 2 days later, they had a chance to right the ship, but Zion again dropped 35 on them with plays like this. And would you look at that? Torrey Craig must be having nightmares of going up against Zion because he's pretty much getting bullied on national television. I think it's safe to say that this image sums up their relationship perfectly. Zion doing his thing, while Torrey Craig is looking up at the clock saying, "Sheesh, I can't wait for this to be over."